we hear the word reaching moksha. So
Right.
it's a state that you arrive at, right?
Huh.
Through practices, through mindset.
Yes. So again, one very beautiful thing that I heard recently is moksha is not something, a place somewhere that you have to reach. Not even in time. कितने time बाद या फिर इधर पहुँचोगे तो मोक्ष. It's there always. We just need to connect with it.
We need to access it.
Yes, we need to access.
Okay, lovely.
it.
I thought it's a state that you can reach through meditation or through breath work or through, repetition.
Right.
So this
It's always there.
It is always there.
We just have to access it.
Oh, lovely. So the 3 states of consciousness.
Yes.
But what does that have to do about the self? What does Indian philosophy talk about the self, understanding about self, knowing oneself?
Yeah. So when we say self, right? Self is, you can, for every person, self is different.
Okay.
Right? For normal people, self is this body.
Right.
Is the role that I am in. This is I come from this place or this country. This is myself. Right? So for every person, the definition of self is different. So in Indian philosophy, in Vedanta, they go for understanding of self goes to pure consciousness.
Okay.
For them, anything that is changing is not true.
So that's Atman.
Yes, the soul. Soul is pure consciousness, nothing else. So whatever is happening to you, that is transitory. So that is not yourself. Your body is continuously changing from childhood to old age. So that is not yourself. Your mind is constantly changing, your thoughts in the way, your opinions and beliefs are also changing.
Right.
So whatever is transitory cannot be real. So that is not yourself. Your intellect is not yourself. Your memory, even your ego is not yourself. So what is that true self is that which does not change. The silent witness, which is observing everything. That is the true self.
So how do you access that silent observer? Through the different yogas?
Yes, so there are different paths, there are different disciplines, and it's not like immediately you have to work.
Right.
Because mind is playing so many games with us.
Absolutely.
Right? We have to first purify the mind and then take steps depending upon your inclination, depending upon your dharma, and then that is the path.
So how does meditation and mindfulness play a part in this?
Yeah, so mindfulness, is like the game changer, So I had heard this very nice quote which says, are you running your day or is the day running you? And the game changer is mindfulness.
Absolutely.
That's how you run your day.
Absolutely.
So you have to introspect what went wrong in the day, why it went wrong, and then you try to make changes in the next day. Right? That is mindfulness. You're introspecting and then making changes.
So mindfulness is only not that. Mindfulness is also being aware of the here and now.
Right.
So just being aware of everything that's happening and not just what went wrong, but just right now, like we're sitting in this room and there's the AC. So, being aware of everything.
Correct. Yes. Mindfulness, being in the present
moment.
In the
present moment.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. So that also is a big part of Indian philosophy?
Mindfulness is a big part in every field, in every school of philosophy, yes. Okay. Because even in Vedanta, if you look, the method of learning Vedanta itself is there are 3 steps. Shravanam, Mananan and Nidhyas. Shravanam is listening. Mananan is introspecting what you have heard. So when you're introspecting, you are being mindful about the knowledge that was just given to you. Does it really apply? And then applying it to your daily life.
Okay. In Indian philosophy, we hear the word ahimsa. And that, I think, is something that we all mostly try to follow, right? We don't kill our fellow humans or we don't try to harm people, not just physically but even mentally. And what does Indian philosophy have to talk about ahimsa? Because I know it's a very big part of that.
Right. Ahimsa is definitely one big part. So, but again, the people have limiting beliefs about ahimsa. I think non-violence is just physical non-violence. It is goes to a much deeper level actually. It's not just fighting, it's non-violence at the level of emotions, at verbal non-violence also.
Or how you're thinking,
Yes.
Maybe I'm upset with you, I'm not shouting at you, I'm not hitting you.
Right.
But maybe not even having those hurtful or angry thoughts about the other person.
Exactly. Because today people are nice outside, but at the back of their head, they're constantly,
conniving.
Yeah.
This should happen to you. You did this. I wish this happens to you.
Yeah, that is non-violence, right?
Yeah.
And we have those things for ourselves also, we think constantly.
Absolutely.
I'm not good at this. I'm so bad at this.
So self-criticism is also part of
ahimsa
violence.
to yourself.
Okay.
Right?
No, that's himsa to yourself.
Himsa to yourself.
Absolutely.
Right.
So self-criticism is also violence in a way. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I was not aware of this.
Yeah,
That's
so
wonderful.
That's the reason people think ahimsa is just fighting. No, ahimsa is just fighting and avoiding that. So much more deeper level. So when you practice at the level of thought, ahimsa, towards others, towards yourself, then harmony is going to happen. If you do not have any bad thoughts about anybody, you're going to live peacefully with others.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think when you have that, even if somebody else is misbehaving with you or not treating you right, because we have that capacity of peace and harmony within ourselves, we are able to overcome that situation without getting stuck with that emotions and how did this happen to me, how could this person do this to me.
Yes.
That's beautiful. So this again comes in the Jnana Yoga.
Ahimsa comes in multiple places. So even in yoga, I'm again and again referring to yoga, as I said that I have been in touch with yoga for many years. So it comes in one of the rules and regulations of yoga. And it's an important concept everywhere. In Bhagavad Gita, you will see, even in the unorthodox schools, in Buddhism, in Jainism, ahimsa is a big concept in Indian philosophy itself.
That's wonderful. Yeah. There's gross body, which is my physical body.
Yes.
Then what I think and how my mind functions is your subtle body. And what is the third one?
Causal body.
Causal body.
It's like a seed. It carries the seed of the subtle body and the gross body. Like, when you plant a tree, we have a seed.
Right.
If you break open the seed, you literally don't see anything like that.
Right.
But when you plant it in the soil, it comes to be a beautiful tree which has all the information of that particular tree.
Absolutely.
So causal body is like that. If you look at it, it is basically nothing. It's avidya, but it's carrying all your past karmas, all your past vasanas and samskaras.
What is a vasana?
Vasanas are the past impressions.
Okay.
What you have done in your past life. All that information is like carried in a small chip. That is vasanas.
And samskara?
Samskaras and vasanas are basically interchangeable words. They are past impressions.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's like you're carrying the previous births, memories or habits.
Yes.
But it's there repressed within us.
It's there repressed within us. So it's the causal body is carrying the seed, and with that seed the subtle body has grown and the gross body has grown from that seed. So when you talk about reincarnation, it's very interesting that the subtle body leaves the gross body permanently, right? When you die, that's why there is this pain when you're dying, because the subtle body is leaving the gross body. And then the subtle body goes in the causal body in the form of seed, and then that is carried to another body.
Absolutely.
Right. So how it changes the way we think, right? This concept is you realize that what body that you're living in right now is a temporary residence, right? And that's how, we do not question ourselves constantly. Why am I like this? Why is my hair like this? Why am I like this? Why am I disabled? Or whatever issues you have with yourself. It's a temporary residence. It's going to go in another in some time.
Absolutely.
Right?
I heard this very beautiful phrase and I really get goosebumps every time I hear or say it or read it, which is, we are not human beings on a spiritual journey. We are spiritual beings on a human journey.
That's right.
So I think that's very beautiful, and
Correct,
I think that's what you're trying to talk about.
So, when you realize this, okay, you are not this gross body, you are not even your mind and your intellect. And I think this perception, just understanding what your true self is, changes the way you look at things, changes the way you behave. And also, all the duties and responsibilities that we do on our daily life, it creates a shift, because it's kind of paying a rent, because you're in this body. This is the rent that you're paying, doing your duties and responsibilities.
Amazing.
It's like that. So this shift, changes the way you behave and where you put your energy now. Now you're not cribbing and nagging about why am I here.
Absolutely.
This is the rent that you have to pay.
Absolutely. We hear the word reaching moksha. So it's a state that you arrive at, right? Through practices, through mindset.
Yes. So again, one very beautiful thing that I heard recently is moksha is not something, a place somewhere that you have to reach. Not even in time. Kitna time baad. Ya fir idhar pahunchoge to moksha. It's there always. We just need to connect with it.
We need to access it.
Yes, we need to access
lovely.
it.
I thought it's a state that you can reach through meditation or through breath work or through, repetition.
Right.
So
It's always there.
It is always there.
We just have to access it.
Oh, lovely. So why is it said that, it takes many births to, reach that state of moksha?
So, because the minds are not pure. That is the reason purification of mind is focused so much, and that is why all the disciplines are important.
So what you're saying is our mind is always playing games with us,
Yes.
and it's always, tricking us.
Always.
And, getting stuck in illusions. Correct. And getting tricked by the external illusions.
The monkey mind.
The monkey mind.
Yes, that's
Wonderful.
true.
Wonderful.
That's the reason purification or sadhana is given so much importance. Sadhana is basically discipline. Any sort of discipline you're following. So there are 4 paths which are given, which is Karma Yoga, Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Right? So whichever path you're following, do your sadhana
Would you
properly.
like to elaborate what are these 4 yogas?
Sure. So Karma Yoga is basically the path of action.
So that has to do with dharma also, right?
Yes, of course. Yeah. So dharma is important in all 4.
All 4.
Okay. That is the foundation.
Okay.
Whatever you're doing, karma or raj or jnana, do it with dharma.
Okay.
That is the foundation.
Righteousness. You're doing for the good.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So karma is basically the path of action. So whatever action, everyone's doing that.
Right.
You cannot live here without doing action. But do it nishkam. No, do it in a nishkam way without getting attached.
Without having expectations.
Without having expectation. That's why karma yoga. Not just karma. Karma yoga is when you do action with that detachment spirit. That's when it becomes yoga.
So it could be a teacher teaching, a person going to office, and a student learning.
Yes.
Doing their action
for the sake of humanity. Do it for the sake of service. You can also do it as a service for God. Don't do it for yourself, because that's when you try to do it for yourself, for pleasure, for money. That's when you are making impressions.